Comedian John Crist will be back in Lubbock with a nearly sold-out show at the Buddy Holly Hall this Friday. I got a chance to catch up with Crist to talk about his nationwide tour and his very special love for stand-up. You're coming to Lubbock on Friday, the 22nd, but this is a rescheduled show at the Buddy Holly Center. Can you explain why?
Okay, well, our last show was, I guess it's in February. Yeah. And I was getting, so I'm not in charge of the dates. Surprisingly, you're like, you are the one that picked, you're coming to Athens on Georgia Tech weekend. I go, hey, there's a lot of things going on. I didn't know about the county fair. But it was Super Bowl Sunday. I remember that back in February, and everybody, I started getting a bunch of DMs. It's on Super Bowl Sunday, it's on Super Bowl Sunday, but the show was also full. So we're like, well, there must be some people that don't care about the Super Bowl. And then it was like a worst snowstorm in Lubbock history. And what I go, it was the night before. I never forget this. And my agent was like, we're gonna cancel. I go, we were already in Midland the night before because we did the show. I was like, dude, if we cancel this show and somebody sends me like flurries, I'm gonna be so pissed. We're already out here. He goes, no, I think it's and then people sent me videos, and it sounded like it was horrific.
It was pretty bad, but I think if you're a football fan, it kept you in the house. So
yeah, there you go.
So
it's a win-win
for some folks, but
yeah, and I don't if you think of cities that are prepared for snow: Boston, Philly, Pittsburgh,
Detroit.
I don't put Lubbock, Texas, and there's a lot of great things about Lubbock. I don't put being prepared for winter weather on the top of my list.
Most cities south of the Mason-Dixon line, probably not. John, you don't know how many times people have sent me that clip of Weatherman Melts Down, thinking that you were a real meteorologist.
Yeah.
And I got sent it maybe 8 or 9 times. Like, oh, gosh, I can't believe this happened. And, you have the graphics, like as if it's real.
I sent my assistant, I go, hey, here's an NBC logo. Can you get this on a vest? And then can you get it on one of those mic things? And that was one of the ones that you watch, you go, is this real? And that's what the internet is today. You go, is this real? Or is this fake? That's what makes the content so compelling. I think that's wild to hear.
And you weren't AI. That was all
AI. That was before AI. That was probably 5 years ago.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So let's jump into your entrance into comedy.
I started telling jokes in church about church, and everybody thought it was so funny. So I can't believe he's saying these things. But I was kind of so deep into it that everybody knew I loved church, and I loved my youth group, and I loved the pastor, and I was joking about it from a like, look at us, not look at y'all. I'm not pointing the fingers. I go, we are wild, and that was how everybody started rallying around it. Because like, man, this guy is saying things that we've all wanted to say for a long time but couldn't. And then I started touring in churches. So you do a Baptist church in Alabama, then you do a Catholic church in Pennsylvania, and they got what they think is funny is all different. You're trying to, all right, now you're doing a youth group where they want to hear a little bit more of its silly jokes versus you're doing a marriage night, and you're like, well, they don't want to hear those jokes. So I think it's a lot of good training, bouncing around. I mean, even now, politically, you do a joke in Texas that, then do that joke in Portland, and they're picketing after the show, so it's fun to figure out.
Your material. There's so much going on in the real world in real time.
Yep.
Like, how are you having to just adjust to what's happening, like, every day?
Every day. Yeah, I think a lot of times people say the comedian, they email on the website, I can't believe you said that. I can't believe that was too far, whatever side you take. But I try to tell people, I go, the comedian doesn't decide. The comedian can't say whatever he wants. The comedian can only say what's already in the thoughts of what's now. The comedian may be able to verbalize it in a way that's more digestible and funnier than an average person, but the comedian doesn't just get to spout off whatever he wants. If the comedian was like, is it me or is it Jerry Jones losing his mind? Like, everybody would laugh at that because they're like, yeah, we have thought that.
Right.
But you said it in a way that is funny.
What can we expect on Friday?
Oh man, I mean, it's gonna be a bunch. You're gonna. It's what was interesting about the last time we came is everybody was kind of, everybody's kind of divided up and on the internet, and it's so nice to go to these cities because I'm the guest. You guys live it like if you go to a city like Atlanta, people have driven in from anywhere. If I'm doing a show in Lubbock, it's Lubbock. Nobody came from anywhere else. So that's what's beautiful about doing a city like that is everybody jokes, everybody knows the same things, everybody thinks the same things about the mayor, about the road construction, about Texas Tech, and it's like about what's that country bar, do you remember what it's called?
Blue Light.
I think it was where we went last time, the line dancing bar. I was like, this place is wild, about the big trucks and all the oil money and all that stuff. And it was like, everybody, you think some things, and then when you go to meet with everyone in your city, it's such a therapeutic experience because you're like, dang, I thought that. It's good to see that all my neighbors and my coworkers and everybody else from the city thinks the same way.